Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a rut, as though life is weighing you down and you can't break free? What if I told you that you could disappear mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and come back not just stronger, but completely unrecognizable? Today, we'll talk about how Stoic philosophy can help you transform yourself in ways you never thought possible. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into Stoic philosophy, an ancient school of thought that offers powerful tools for self-transformation. In a world where we often feel overwhelmed by distractions, emotions, and the pressures of life, Stoicism can provide a clear path to reclaiming control and achieving true inner peace. The idea of disappearing and coming back unrecognizable might sound extreme, but trust me, Stoicism offers a way to do just that. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore key Stoic principles and how you can apply them to make profound changes in your life. You might be thinking, how does philosophy actually help me with my daily struggles? Stick with me, because we're going to break it all down. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll have some actionable steps to begin your journey of transformation. Section 1. The power of perspective, seeing things differently. The first step in transforming yourself through Stoicism is shifting your perspective. In Stoic thought, one of the key teachings is the idea that we cannot control the external world, but we can always control how we react to it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This is revolutionary because it means that no matter what happens to us, we always have the choice of how to respond. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and running late for an important meeting. Your instinct might be to get angry or frustrated. But from a Stoic perspective, instead of letting the situation control you, you can choose to see it differently. You can decide to use that time to relax, reflect, or even listen to something educational. The idea is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. When you start to control your reactions, you begin to break free from the chains of external circumstances, and that's the first step in becoming unrecognizable. Section 2. Embracing adversity, turning challenges into opportunities. One of the most remarkable aspects of Stoicism is its embrace of adversity. In fact, Stoics believe that challenges and hardship are not just inevitable. They are necessary for personal growth. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, famously said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Instead of fearing hardship, Stoics see it as a training ground for building resilience and strength. Think about the last time you faced a challenge. Maybe it was a difficult project at work, a tough conversation with a loved one, or even an illness. What if instead of avoiding the discomfort, you leaned into it? By doing so, you would not only grow stronger, but you would also develop wisdom and emotional fortitude. Take the example of someone going through a tough breakup. Instead of wallowing in despair, the Stoic response would be to examine the situation from a distance and find the lessons in it. What can you learn from this experience? How can you use it to become a more resilient, wiser person? Embracing adversity in this way allows you to come back from hardships unrecognizable, more powerful, and more at peace with yourself. Section 3. Mastery over desire. Achieving true freedom. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from mastering our desires. The more we are ruled by our desires, the more we are slaves to them. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, taught that we must distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Our desires often fall outside our control. Wanting more money, more success, more attention, these are desires that can enslave us if we aren't careful. But what if we could live without being constantly driven by desires? What if we could achieve contentment with less, and in doing so, free ourselves from the constant cycle of wanting and striving? This is the essence of Stoic freedom. By focusing on what truly matters, inner peace, wisdom, and virtue, you can detach from the distractions and find a deeper sense of fulfillment. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you already have everything you need to be happy. That's the power of Stoic mastery over desire. It's about simplifying life and finding contentment in the present moment, instead of being on a never-ending quest for more. Section 4. The limits of Stoicism in modern life now. While Stoicism offers profound wisdom, it's important to recognize that no philosophy is without its limit. Some critics argue that Stoicism, with its emphasis on detachment from external events, might encourage people to suppress emotions rather than confront and process them. But Stoics don't suggest ignoring emotions. They suggest observing them without being controlled by them. Another criticism is that Stoicism might seem too austere or unemotional. After all, aren't we supposed to feel joy, sadness, and all the rich emotions of life? The key here is balance. Stoicism isn't about removing emotions. It's about cultivating a healthy, balanced relationship with them. It's about understanding that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we let it affect us. Section 5. The importance of virtue. Living with integrity. In Stoicism, virtue is the highest good. Virtue is not just about doing good deeds. It's about living a life guided by wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. The Stoics believed that a virtuous life is the only life worth living because it is aligned with nature and reason. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminds himself in his meditations that true happiness and fulfillment come from acting with virtue, not from external circumstances or material wealth. Virtue, in this sense, means living with integrity. It's about making choices that reflect your values, even when no one is watching. Take, for example, the decision to act ethically at work, even when there might be an easier or more profitable option. A Stoic would say that acting with integrity, doing the right thing even when it's difficult, strengthens your character and leads to true happiness. In our modern world, it's easy to get distracted by the pursuit of success or the opinions of others. But Stoicism teaches us that the path to becoming unrecognizable, truly transformed, is through virtuous living. It's about constantly aligning your actions with your highest principles and understanding that external rewards are fleeting, while internal virtue provides lasting peace. Section 6. Practicing mindfulness and reflection. Living with intentional awareness. One of the most profound Stoic practices is mindfulness and self-reflection. This isn't just about being present in the moment, but about being intentionally aware of your thoughts, actions, and reactions. The Stoics believed that the key to mastering oneself lies in reflecting daily on one's actions and emotions. Seneca recommended that every day we should reflect on how we've acted and how we can improve. This is called the evening reflection. Imagine you go to bed tonight and ask yourself, did I live according to my values today? Did I react with patience, wisdom, and understanding? What could I have done differently? This self-awareness helps you catch negative patterns before they become habits and allows you to refine your character. The power of reflection is that it prevents us from falling into the trap of living on autopilot. By practicing this daily, you cultivate intentional awareness and can make better choices moving forward. This practice of mindfulness connects deeply to the Stoic principle of living according to nature. For when you reflect on your actions and realign with your core values, you are living authentically, and this, in turn, drives your transformation. Section 7. The dichotomy of control, knowing what you can and can't control. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, the idea that there are things we can control and things we cannot. This is one of the most powerful principles in Stoic philosophy, because it liberates you from the unnecessary burden of trying to control everything in life. According to Epictetus, some things are up to us and some things are not. The things that are up to us include our thoughts, actions, and responses. Everything else, the weather, other people's opinions, the past, or the future, is outside our control. By focusing only on what you can control and letting go of everything else, you'll experience less anxiety and frustration. For example, you might be facing a challenging situation at work where you feel underappreciated. You can't control the actions of your boss or coworkers, but you can control your attitude, your effort, and how you choose to react. By focusing on these elements, you retain your sense of autonomy and power, rather than being at the mercy of external circumstances. This principle not only helps you deal with daily stressors, but also plays a vital role in your personal transformation. When you accept that there are things beyond your control, you free yourself from frustration and resentment, allowing you to focus on your own growth. Understanding and practicing the dichotomy of control can significantly alter the way you approach life's challenges, making you unrecognizable in your ability to cope and thrive. Section 8. Acceptance of impermanence. Understanding the transitory nature of life. Another key Stoic concept is the acceptance of impermanence. Stoicism teaches that everything is in constant flux. The ancient philosophers believed that life is in a state of change, nothing lasts forever, and nothing is truly under our control. From a Stoic perspective, this understanding helps us accept the transient nature of life and the inevitability of death. When we accept that nothing is permanent, we begin to see the beauty in the present moment, in the fleeting nature of life. This doesn't mean we should be morbid or avoid enjoying life. It simply means that we should live with the understanding that everything, both good and bad, will eventually pass. In fact, recognizing the impermanence of life makes us more appreciative of the present. Take, for example, a personal loss or a difficult breakup. A Stoic approach would be to recognize that pain and suffering are a part of life, but they too will eventually pass. By accepting impermanence, we stop clinging to things that are beyond our control and start focusing on what truly matters: our internal state, our virtue, and our capacity to adapt and grow through hardship. The acceptance of impermanence is transformative because it frees us from unnecessary attachments. It's not about living in fear of loss or trying to avoid it. It's about accepting the natural ebb and flow of life, allowing us to move forward with greater wisdom, peace, and resilience. Section 9. The role of self-discipline. Mastering the art of delayed gratification. Self-discipline is another crucial element in the Stoic path. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes from self-control. In a world full of distractions, temptations, and immediate pleasures, Stoicism teaches the importance of delayed gratification. It's the practice of exercising self-control in order to achieve long-term goals, rather than succumbing to short-term desires. For instance, consider someone who is trying to lose weight or build a new skill. The immediate pleasure of indulging in junk food or procrastinating can be strong, but the Stoic approach is to resist those impulses and focus on the bigger picture. It's about making choices that align with your long-term goals, even if it means forgoing temporary comfort. Self-discipline doesn't mean depriving yourself. It means making conscious choices that lead to greater fulfillment. A Stoic would say that by training yourself to resist temptation and focusing on your deeper values, you begin to master yourself. This mastery over impulses is part of what makes you unrecognizable over time. You build not only discipline, but also the mental strength to live your life according to your highest purpose. So, what does all of this mean for you? The journey of becoming unrecognizable is about shedding the old, reactive version of yourself and embracing a life of intentionality, resilience, and inner peace. By shifting your perspective, embracing adversity, and mastering your desires, you can undergo a transformation that not only changes how you see the world, but also how the world sees you. Remember, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life. And every day, you have the opportunity to apply these principles to become stronger, wiser, and more in control of your life. So, ask yourself, are you ready to disappear mentally, emotionally, and come back unrecognizable? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear how you plan to start incorporating Stoic philosophy into your own life. What are some changes you'd like to make? Share your thoughts below, and let's continue this conversation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. Transformation isn't always about grand gestures or instant results. It's about small, consistent changes that compound over time. The Stoic path is about progress, not perfection. So, take it one day at a time, and remember that you're on a journey toward becoming your best self.